Hello, everyone. Well, I'd like to talk to you today about why divisive politics is bad for democracy. We all know what that is. That is when each party pretty much glorifies their guy as the only solution to and the only defender of democracy, and the other parties are evil and horrible and trying to destroy democracy. They pretty much all do it in different ways. This is horrible because we need to be able to, as a people, as a nation, whatever nation, we need to be able to respectfully debate ideas. And it needs to be freely flowing of this debate and not fearful of not, quote, our guy in charge. Because let me tell you one thing. Even if you get your guy in charge, your gal in charge, your person, your group, it's not going to benefit you. It's not that you can put up and say, hey, Justin, hey, Jugmeat, hey, Pierre, yeah, here's what I need you to do. And they'll say, yeah, sure, buddy, no problem. Okay, yeah. You're a member, gosh, you voted for me, so, here's your check. It doesn't work that way. Maybe you've donated $1 billion, they'll talk to you, but that's money talks. But where does this division come from? Well, it comes from the politicians themselves, because they're desperate for power. They want power really badly. And so they've, over the last few decades, they've allowed that desperation for power to creep into their rhetoric by trying to make it so that you as a person feel that all of Western civilization is on the line if their group doesn't gain power. Why? Because they want power. Power means that they get to do their little projects. That's nifty. But also, more importantly, they and their group get to have their what I call their turn at the trough, the pig out. They get money and flows to them, like as we've seen with this latest group. I'm not excusing the conservatives. They've done it. Every group have done it. When they get in power long enough, you'll find out, oh, look, this company who was friendly to them gets a fat contract. That company gets a fat contract. And this money flows this way. That money flows this way. Like a certain environment minister. Again, he's not the only one. Far from the only one. It's unacceptable. But that is where we don't have any checks and balances in the system. And even if you do, if you have all the guys from one side having all the positions of power, you don't have checks and balances. Like, for example, I don't know, the Republicans controlling the presidency, the House, and the Senate. Nobody is going to ask any questions of what the Republicans are doing. They can't, because the Republicans are going to go, great. Unless now, in the States, it's a little bit different. Each person has to get elected on their own, so you might have some bucking the trend. They don't have to. They're not sworn to defend the party line as they are here in Canada. You literally have no choice up here. So we have these divisive politics because they want you to believe that their party is the only party. That's it. Because wouldn't it be such a wonderful paradise if, well, see, every party views it as there's the us party. We're the good guys. We're the ones who are defending democracy, and we're looking out for everyone, and everything would be great if we just had complete power at all times, because we're the us party. We're the anointed ones. We're the great ones. Then there's the them party. They're nice, but they're misguided. They're them. They're harmless, but fools over there. Then there's the never them. Not those guys. Never them. The arch nemesis. Every party has those three parties. But here's the thing. A one-party system is horrible, as we've seen many times over, because nobody asks any questions. And typically then you end up with one leader who is the absolute supreme leader, and there's no checks and balances. There's no way to say, excuse me, what the hell are you doing? No, you can't do that. No. Also, if we can't respectfully debate because you have to support the us party because that's the only party. And how dare you question the us party? We're great. We're brilliant. Our brilliant leader knows everything because they're the brilliant leader of the us party. Well, then you don't get any intelligent debate, and ideas don't get improved, and you get bad, horrible, and even evil laws being passed because no one can do anything about it. No one can question it. even if they wanted to. And that's wrong. That's bad. Because if you say, hey, you know, we want to do this thing to help to solve this problem. Okay. If you can't have the opposition come up and respectfully say, okay, I like what you're trying to do, but have you thought of this? And the government should be able to say, oh, okay, good point. We thought that this would take care of that. And the other party can say, no, because it's not going to work because of this, that, and the other thing. And other parties can talk up and have, you know, a debate, an intelligent debate about the issue, about dealing with how can we solve this particular problem, not simply say it's my way or no way. But this is Canada. And that's what happens. The government puts forth their bill. They say, we're going to do this. And the politician and the opposition loses their minds, tossing papers around, thumping desks, and making a big scene like it's the absolute travesty, most horrible thing in existence, even if all they're debating is what color to paint the washrooms on Parliament Hill. They'll make an absolute travesty of everything because the way it's structured, the government always gets their way, and the opposition has to look like they're fighting and struggling for the average people so they can regain any sort of relevance. So you're never going to see the opposition say, good idea. Maybe they might say, good idea, but you should have done it 10 years ago. Or what took you so long? Or something like that. It always will be an insult because we don't have intelligent debate. It's always everything the other guys are doing are horribly wrong and evil. And if they get power, it will be the end of all democracy because us and only us should have power, and anyone who supports the other guy should be deported. I don't want to live in Soviet Russia. I don't want to live in communist China. I want to live in an actual democracy which actually has actual debate, and where there are actual checks and balances, and where the people are the supreme power in the country. That's what I would believe. That's what I believe. That's what I live in. And we need to get back to politics where we're intelligently discussing the issues, not attacking each other. Because again, those in power and those vying for power want you to blindly obey and believe in your party because, well, they don't want to have to try to convince you of the right of whatever they're doing. They just want you to blindly follow. Don't do that. I'm 54 years old. I've been voting since I'm 18. I voted in every election that I've been eligible for, but two. One was because the Poland people didn't like, it was a provincial election, they didn't like my address, and so they didn't let me vote. I didn't put up a fuss, I just walked away kind of stunned and ashamed, and so I didn't vote. The other one was, at the time I was living in a small town, and I had to drive an hour to get into the major city where I had my job, so it was a bedroom community for me. I didn't really get involved in the local politics, and so when the town municipal election came up, I didn't vote because I said, you know what, Jeff, you haven't done your due diligence. You haven't learned anything about any of the issues, local issues. You haven't learned anything about any of the candidates, so you don't have a right to vote. You didn't do your due diligence. Otherwise, I have voted for progressive PCs, progressive conservatives, liberals, NDP, Reform. I voted for a number of different parties. Why? Because at that time, I would go, okay, what is this party saying? What is that party saying? And which party do I actually agree with? Not blindly, well, we have to vote for him because he's conservative. Oh no. I know he wants to nuke Lethbridge, but he's conservative. Well, I have to vote for him. I can't vote for a liberal because, well, he's not conservative. I'm not picking on the conservatives. I'm just saying don't blindly obey or follow any party just because it's that party. Make sure that what they want is what you want and what makes sense to you as a person. And we, again, need to get back to having intelligent debates, not, well, if you supported those guys, we should kick you all out of the country. We don't need their supporters in this country. Yes, we do. We need their supporters, your supporters, their supporters, everybody's supporters. Everybody has a voice and needs to be heard respectfully. You need to put your ideas forth respectfully and be ready to respectfully debate the idea. Because maybe your idea, however great it is not as great as you think it is. And maybe somebody with a different perspective can come forth with an idea or perspective, or maybe even just say a problem that you didn't think of. And together, talking, discussing together from everyone's different diverse perspectives and opinions, we can come up with the real proper solution, not just a really dogmatic one, which serves a narrow chunk of the population and ultimately the leaders of each of these parties. We're better than that.